Shalom, Malakim.
Alakim Shalom.
Please introduce yourself and the person next to you.
Okay. My name is Christopher Manager, and this is my wife, Violet Manager.
May you share your testimony with the church.
Okay, our testimony is started with a prophecy. Papa prophesied us about the house since 2017. So 2018, he prophesied again about the house, and he said to me, actually, he prophesied my wife and say, I see that you want a house, but your husband want a car. So I was more toward the house, toward the car. She was towards the house. But you know, as a husband, wife comes first, not husband. A happy wife makes a happy husband. Okay, so Papa kept on prophesying. Last year, December, he prophesied that. But on that particular day that he prophesied, we already went to the agent. We were supposed to view the house that day. So I did not confirm. I went to the office and confirmed to Papa.
What did the man of God say exactly?
It's when I was talking about me wanting the car and my wife wanting the house. So I went to Papa and confirmed that today we're going to see the agent and view the house. So later we called the agent and we went on Monday. On Monday we went and viewed that house. It was on December. And we signed the papers. We liked the house. The house had everything that we wanted. Then we signed the papers that day. But the papers were not processed yet because the agent had to go to the holidays. So they went to the holidays. January came, then they processed the papers with the bank. Then we got approved January. So since we've been approved January, we did not know that the house is a late estate. Therefore, it takes a long time to be transferred. So it's January, February, about March is when we got, Papa gave us another prophecy about the house again. Then he was demonstrating, he says, I see you marching to your house. So I remember some people, if we were here, then I was one of those people who were marching to the house on that day. Since March, since we're stuck since January, March is when we began to pay for paying the deposit. And then we had to wait long time before the house was transferred, because now we began to have a problem with the transfer attorney and the buyer. They were doing the delay tactics. The buyer still wanted to use the house for himself, packing his cars there. Some of the properties that were there, he did not have the place to take them because it was his father's property. So it took forever. So now we began to be impatient. We prayed, we waited. So this thing took about 9 months before the house was transferred to us. So the house was lodged on the 12th of June. After the house was lodged, on the 27th, they gave us the keys. We went there to collect the keys. When we went to collect the keys, the owner said, you can enter into the house, but I still have to use the storage, the backyard. I said, no way. We are not going to take the house partially controlled. We'll give you 2 weeks or a week. We'll give him a week to take this thing out. So after a week, we tried to contact him, we couldn't get him. Then on the 26th, I think we went to the 25, we went to the prayer mountain with Papa. That day, I said to him, I sent him an SMS. I said, look, on Monday I'll come to his workplace because he worked for the bank that we approved us to buy the house. I said, I will come to his place, to the workplace. But unfortunately, there was a disaster in my family, so I had to go to Limpopo that Saturday. My young brother passed away. He got an accident on that particular day. So I had to go to Limpopo. On Monday, he called me and the seller and says, oh, you can come and take the house. You can come and take the key. I said, oh, by the way, I'm in Limpopo. I'll come on Tuesday to collect the keys. After 5 minutes, they called me back and says, by the way, the house has been rejected at the deed office. So you can't collect the keys anymore. So I said the reason, this is the stand size that is on the offer to purchase, and the one that is in the deed office, and the one that is at the municipality are different. So there's no way that they can give you that, they can register the house with the different measurements. So he said they will need 3 more months. But my agent said, no, we had a problem like that not so long. It only took 3 days. But the transfer attorney says, no, it will take long. So we went up and down with him. He stayed, and I don't know how many, 2 months before they relodged the house in the month of September. They relodged the house. After a while, the house was rejected again. So, why was the house rejected? This time there's no reason. The deed office didn't give us any reason, neither did the transfer attorney give us any reason. So, through all this is very frustrating, but we were holding on to the prophecies because Papa never stopped prophesying. Even though the house is rejected, he kept on prophesying. About 3 weeks back, he prophesied about the house, that she will testify about the house. I think he said to her, I see the key appearing in your hands and disappearing, which is about 3 weeks back. And then she confirmed that. He says, no, you'll testify. About 2 weeks back, I went back to the attorney. Then we realized now they're giving us different story from story to story. The attorney tomorrow, you will say, I have operation. So if you went to the operation, it's not at the office. So it will take him 4 weeks before he comes back to the office. So we end up calling one of the attorney at church. Then with him, we called that attorney. And after a while, then the attorney, they relodged the house again. It stayed there on stage 1 without moving. It's not normal. It's supposed to be moving. It's on stage 1. It's asking questions. Why is it on stage 1 moving? 2. So I went to the attorney's office asking why. So we end up calling our attorney to call him. Then he explained to him that, the reason is this and this, the same excuses that he gave him. Then we went again, the attorney called him again the second day, and the attorney says, okay, fine. Send to us everything. So he sent some of the paperwork to our attorney. Then he went to the deed office to see what happened. So he went and confirmed that it's still on the same stage. So you remember the week that Papa declared that it's the week of miracles, we must anoint ourselves. So this is where the testimony now begins to happen. So on that Sunday, Papa says, okay, God says you must anoint yourselves and then buy water. So I was the first person to buy water because I'm the protocol, so I was the first person to buy water. So I bought that water, Papa touched the water. I realized, okay, he touched the water. I come back again, I make him touch the water again. He touched the water the second time. So when we got home, remember he said not to drink the water, only to anoint yourself. So we realized that on Monday in the morning, start anointing yourself. I got home, I said to my wife, should we wait? Since our problem is this big. So we anointed ourselves the first night on Sunday. Then we drank. After drinking, we got sick immediately. Seriously sick. So that night I slept with tablets. Got sick. The following morning, we said to ourselves, it's deliverance. But we didn't know that it was disobedience. They said, don't drink, anoint yourself. So in the morning, we see on the WhatsApp, people say, I anointed myself, I fell at this. People say, no, don't drink. I say, leave them. We are on our own, we drink.
May you
What-
please take us to a stage where things started changing.
Which is, it was on Wednesday. Tuesday we still drink water and anoint ourselves. But on Wednesday morning, we stopped, since we heard that we cannot drink, we stopped drinking water and we just anoint ourselves. That day, then the agent for bond, she called us and says, the house is moved from stage 1 to stage 2. It was 8 in the morning. Later, before it was 12, the house is moved from stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, now it's what, on prep, and which is never done. It must take 3 weeks for that to be done. Then she said, well, the house is on prep. We called the state agent, says, this is the house is on prep. She says, no, it is a miracle. It can never be done. Then, only in 3 days, the house was moved from all stages, transferred, and the bond was registered. On Saturday, we said, okay, the agent was not around. We said to the seller, we'll not come and collect the key, we'll collect on Sunday when the agent comes back. So on Sunday, we went and collected the keys.
Let's put our hands together for Jesus, who makes a way where there is no way. How did this affected you?
Well, that affected us a lot because I remember on the side of my wife was a lot of crying. And she was like, are you sure we are still doing the right thing or we just forced ourselves to buy this? I said, remember the prophecy. So she will always remember the prophecy. I was saying, Papa said to her, your testimony has been registered. So she will always say that, okay, I will keep on standing because Papa says your testimony is registered. And now and then, Papa will give us the prophecy about the house again. Through it all, that is what kept us.
May you show us the pictures of your house that the Lord has blessed you with. Viewers all over the world, that is the house that God has blessed them with. Let's put our hands together for Jesus. Indeed, Jesus made a way where there was no way. It took so long for them to get this house, but finally, because in everything, God makes everything look beautiful at His own time. Let's put our hands together once more for Jesus Christ for doing this miracle for them. May you please, can we please hear from the wife? What word of advice can you give to the people that are here listening to you? Maybe others are also facing delays of every kind. May you please encourage them.
What I can say is, no matter what you can go through, if you were given the prophecy, you have to hold on. What man of God says is what he heard from God, and it will come to pass. So I keep holding on from the prophecy that it says, your testimony is registered. So I kept on holding on that one because it was registered from heaven, also here on earth. So I hold on to that.
Let's put our hands together for Jesus Christ, the miracle worker. We encourage you that as God has blessed you, go and make His word a standard for your life, and the best is yet to come.
Shalom Aleichem.
Be our guest every service day at Masisebenza Comprehension School, Sports Ground, corner 6 Liberia and Benin Street, Gianni Section, Tembisa, Gauteng, South Africa.